With a click, tap, or swipe, it is easier now more than ever to buy things. The average American spends around $300 a month on impulse buying. That's $3,600 a year. If you are wanting financial freedom, spending money on unnecessary things can throw your money goals off track. Here are 7 questions to ask yourself before spending your hard-earned money. The first question to ask yourself is, do I really need it? Ask yourself if you truly need it and what purpose it serves in your life. If it's food, you may need it. But if you just ate and you aren't hungry, then you don't need it. You just want it. If it's an appliance, can you get away with not needing it at all? Let's say it's a cool appliance to cut your apples, but can you just use a knife to cut your apples instead? If it's clothing, are you cold? Does it have holes in it? Or are you struggling to make it to the end of the week with the clothes that you currently have? If so, then clothing is needed. But if you have enough outfits that you can't even decide what to wear for the day, do you really need it? Also, ask yourself if it's a true need or a perceived need, aka a want. For me, I love buying things that help me be efficient so I can take that time and use it for something else. It's all about saving time and energy for me. But it's a slippery slope from there to not get caught up buying expensive conveniences to make up for laziness. I always think of food delivery services. When it is crunch time for work and you have no time to cook or pick up food, then spending money on food delivery service makes complete sense. This is because the time you save from not having to go pick up food so you can work is worth more than the few bucks it costs to get your food delivered. Essentially, it's like paying a few bucks for an assistant. But if the whole day was spent watching Netflix and chillaxing, then you are spending money on a convenience. Another thing to consider is, will I use it more than once? Let's say you are hanging something up and need to drill through metal just one time. Buying a nice drill to do this can be expensive, and then it will sit in your toolbox unused for a long time. You can't return it, and you're probably not going to rent it out. At this time, consider borrowing or renting that item instead to save money. The next question to ask yourself is, am I buying it because I'm bored? When there is nothing to do, it's so easy to scroll on social media or watch videos on 24 things you can't live without. 2 days later, you might have 11 packages at your door. Oops! Next time you catch yourself boredom browsing, try to reset your focus and do something else. For me, I usually need to go work out. Actually, my favorite thing to do is to watch videos on minimalism. From there, not only did I stop myself from buying a leash for my tortoise, but now I spent the last hour decluttering. Win-win. If you like what you see so far, click that subscribe button. Here at Build Your Moxie, I cover self-improvement, productivity, and finances. Next question to ask. How long will this satisfy me? Some major categories people spend their money on is food, experiences, and tangible items. I love food, but when a smoothie costs me $10, I'm really sad when I poop it out later. That's $10 I'm never gonna see again. I might as well have eaten a $10 bill. Most of the time, I try to spend my money on tangible things instead. I rather spend $10 on something tangible that will last me a long time, or just throw it towards savings. I love buying workout clothes, and normally I tell myself, if I refrain from eating out 3 times, then I can buy that pair of Lululemon leggings and that's gonna last me for years. A lot of people also live for unforgettable experiences. The average price for an unforgettable experience is usually a few $100s. Swimming with dolphins, skydiving, professional photography during vacation, cruising in the Caribbean. If you are an experienced person, next time you are tempted to spend money on something that isn't as valuable to you, throw that money into your experience savings, and before you know it, you will have saved up the money to build lasting memories. Before you buy something, just think about how long it will satisfy you. I just wanted to clear up that I'm not saying not to buy anything. These are just some questions to ask yourself and be aware of. If the thing that you are buying passes the question test, then buy it. Next up, do I have the space for it? Stuff costs money, and then stuff turns into clutter, and then clutter attracts clutter. Now, I'm not a minimalist by any means, but a really good question to ask yourself is, will this item have a home or will it sit on the counter for a year? Even if you aren't a minimalist, being a poser minimalist can save you a lot of money. Just having the mindset of living simple and not letting stuff consume you can clear your mind and add money to your bank account. If the item doesn't pass the test and you don't have the energy to declutter it later, then skip it. Your future self will thank your past self. Out of my husband and I, he's the saver and I'm the spender. And I'm a spender of tangible items rather than buying experiences. Lately, I've been thinking to myself, does this item deserve to be in my house and be graced with my presence? If I were to move right now into a gorgeous mansion, would I take this item with me? If the answer is no, I say, sayonara, sucker. Next question, can I pay for it in full right now? Paying for items in full in the beginning can save you a lot of money. Paying for items in installments usually costs more in the long run because of the interest or how the payments were set up. You can pay the total amount now, which let's say is $80, or 4 easy payments of $24, which equals $96. That is basically $16 down the drain. Having the mindset of, it's just 3 easy payments of $49 can be dangerous, because if you're doing payments for one item, what's to stop you from doing that for multiple items? Having multiple payments hit you simultaneously for decisions you've made in the past is not fun. This also includes items that have 0 interest when making payment plans. Having payments is like stealing from your future. If you can't pay for an item in full right now, don't do payments and don't go into debt for it. Save up the money for it instead. Who knows, by the time you have the money saved, you might not even need it or want it later. The next question is, how many hours of work will it cost me to pay for this? Do the quick math. If you make $30 an hour and an item costs $100, then you have to work over 3 hours to pay for that item. Now, if that 3 hours is worth it for you, then absolutely buy that item. Work those hours, buy it, and enjoy it. But you can't do that with everything. Are you made of unlimited work hours? Most likely not if you want to keep your mental sanity and have time to enjoy your purchases. Something that I do every month is pay for my DIY lash extensions, my Lashify. This costs me $30 a month and makes me happy 30 days a month. My eyelashes are completely worth it to me, and I will gladly work the hours it takes to make this purchase. One purchase that is usually never worth it to me is getting my nails done at a salon. This is because my nails grow fast, and then the next 2 weeks I'm looking at all the imperfections. Nails can be upwards of $60, so I choose not to spend the work hours to go to the salon. Next up, is it helping me move towards my financial goals? You really have to ask yourself, what do you want? If the answer is to buy a house or go on vacation or retire early, then is this purchase helping you move towards that financial goal? If you don't know what you want, then this is also a problem. Like that saying, if you don't know where you're going, how will you know when you get there? If you don't know what you want, how will you know you're making any progress? There are a lot of scenarios where it's easy to have tunnel vision or have short-term thinking. Saying, I've worked hard, so I deserve to buy this or eat that can be a dangerous game you are playing with yourself. Instead, practice stepping back and seeing the big picture. From there, go after what you want. When my husband and I were trying to pay off all of our student loans, we had to refrain from so many things. So many times I wanted to eat a burrito for lunch, but I knew that eating a 50-cent sandwich now would help us become debt-free sooner, so then later I can eat as many burritos as I want. This is just one example, but in our journey to financial freedom, this question was the biggest game changer for us. If you liked these 7 money-saving questions, you might also like this next video on 30 money-saving tips, which I'll link right here.